Hi, guys. Hello, hello. Good to see you all. Let me make sure that you can see and hear me okay. Uh-oh. My camera looks a little funky. Hang tight. I am not in my normal space. So if everybody could just give me a thumbs up or just let me know in the comments if you can see or hear me okay while I try to clean this camera. And hi, Cosmo. I'm dog sitting, and this is Cosmo. You might have met him. He's been on a couple other videos. And I have to be seated on the floor because it's the only way to have my computer plugged in while I do this live stream. So we're going to have probably lots of attention from Cosmo. All right. Hang tight here. I'm just going to, Cos. I'm going to try and clean the camera. Woo, let's see if that'll work. Come on, a little bit better, a little bit better. Happy holidays to everyone who's still celebrating their holidays. And let me see who's all on. Magnificent Sales. Boy, why don't I remember? Lauren, is that? No, yeah, Lauren, right? I'm pretty sure Lauren. And Sharon, good to see you. Robbie, good to see you. Thanks for thanks for the compliments. I appreciate it. And let me know. Gosh, I'm not getting any comments. So let's keep our fingers crossed that you guys can see and hear me okay, because I'm not seeing any comments. Maybe a thumbs up. Give me if you press the you can't press the like button more than once. Okay, I got hearts. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Yes, Kaz. I know this is not normal. Okay, so let's begin. Welcome to everybody who, for those of you who may be first-time visitors, my name is Elaine. I'm the Animal Reiki Lady, and this beautiful channel, SoulPet, has evolved over the past year. We're going to talk about that it's been 1 year, not quite. So next week will be 1 year since I began doing these weekly live streams. And this is the channel that is dedicated to supporting people who are going through, who are managing, navigating, working through the loss of an animal companion that has crossed to the other side. And we talk about everything here. This is a safe space, a place where you can feel free to share your grief, to share your guilt, to share your anger, and also a place where you should feel free to heal. And even if it's beginning the healing journey or you're far along your healing journey, this community of people, we have all been through the same thing in one way or another. And that is our whole purpose here, is to support each other and to grow spiritually and as a person and as companions to our future animals. There's so much that we talk about here, and we jump a little bit down the rabbit hole of going woo-woo and hairy-fairy, and we talk about all things spiritual and metaphysical and all things related to our animal companions. Okay, so, and if you're catching this on the replay, know that you can always scroll through 5 minutes or so. We do like a little introduction. I like to say hello to everybody who's joining, and I like to welcome especially all the channel members. I'm not seeing comments. Let's see what happens. There we go. Got him. Okay, so let's say hello to everybody before we go any further. Hello, Sherry. Yeah, we're going to talk about dreams. Don't worry. It's so interesting that we just talked about dream work in the psychic development class last night. And I have a really big suggestion to help you guys who do happen to have a bad dream, and how not to let it derail your healing. And hello, Sharon. Hello, Lauren. And I already said hello, Sherry, so I'll say hello as many times as I need to. Jen, good to see you. Who's the pup? This is Cosmo. We're going to talk a little bit about loss tonight too, because loss comes in different forms. And this may be only because I have moved. This may be the last time that me and Kaz spend a week together. I usually, a couple times a year, spend with Cosmo dog sitting. So this is Cosmo. Look at him. He's eyeballing everybody out the corner of his eye. Cosmo is a golden doodle who is the best man. I love him to pieces. He's my buddy. He and I have been together now through a dog sitting journey for the past, I don't know how many years, 4 years, maybe 4 years we've been together. Okay, so let's see who else we've got here. Jen, Kathy, good to see you. Thanks. I was finally able to open all the comments. Sharon, you know what? I don't know what I would do without you guys either. I'm just going to fix this a little bit. I'm a little bit uncomfortable on the floor. Yeah, Cosmo, I'll keep scratching. You're fine. Cosmo is so spoiled. He loves a good belly rub. This has become such a, I love Monday nights. I just love Monday nights and connecting with you guys. So for me too. Donna, hello, good to see you. Trying to get him adopted into another foster home. Okay, you guys can chat amongst yourselves as always. That's one of the things that we do is support each other, even through the comments. So as I talk about the topic each week, there's always a conversation going on on the sides. And you guys, I encourage you to stay in touch, even outside of these live streams. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about a couple of things. Wait, I have, Kaz, where's my notes, buddy? All right, this is the benefit of live video. Hang tight. I'm gonna have to go. I have to get my notes because darn it, I have one set of notes and not the other. Okay, hang tight. Don't go anywhere. Talk amongst yourselves for 30 seconds. Watch out. I'm still here. I got our notes. All right. I'm back. There we go. Okay. So got the notes. I brought my water. I brought my tissues. I brought my notebook and my magic pen, but I forgot my actual notes. Okay. Tonight's topic. What do I want to talk about? First of all, it's been since January of 2024 when I first started these live streams. And it was just an idea that came to me. And many of you who have worked with me know that I don't believe that ideas just come to us. I think that they come to us all the time and we write them off, or we disregard them or minimalize them as simply ideas that come to us. But it's when we take action on those ideas that the real magic happens. And I had this idea. Oh, now I'm out of breath. I had this idea that it would be fun, interesting, worthwhile, creating a live stream where we could start a community of people supporting each other through pet loss. And that's how this all started. And I made a commitment that I would do this every single Monday evening. And it was going to be every single week. Every Monday, I would do a live stream. We would pick some topic to talk about. And it would include readings, like little mini readings for animal companions, for those of you who wanted to get a message from your animals. And it really has worked. And I look at the number. So I number each episode. And with tonight's episode, following the numerical order, was number 48. So I mustn't have started. I missed 2 weeks that I'm aware of. And I just mustn't have started right at the first week of January. That's all I can think about. So I'm going to have to go back and double check that. But it doesn't matter because 48 episodes, you guys, this has been so amazing to connect. And I've connected with so many of you on a very personal level. Judy, hello, how you doing? And hello, Miss Nanya. It's so good to see you here, Cheryl. Okay. It's just so wonderful to be able to connect with you guys and to have a community that is truly supportive. And I've gotten to know several of you very well. And it is just awesome to do that. But tonight, because it is the last Monday of 2024, and we're about to start 2025, I really wanted to talk about making peace with the loss of our animal companions. Healing, and we're going to talk about Ho'oponopono. And Ho'oponopono is that Hawaiian practice of forgiveness. And it can be ceremonial, it can be ritualistic, it can be simple, it can be easy. But I've talked about it before, and I will talk about it again. But tonight, I wanted to do it more as an ending of 2024 to help us really find a place to leave 2024 in a place of peace, in a place of peace and calm. And not resignation, but reconciliation, I think is the word I used earlier, reconciliation, just to make peace with where we are at this moment in time. And Ho'oponopono is one of those practices. We'll talk about it. I'm going to give you some step-by-step guidance if you wanted to practice this on your own. And we'll also do a little guided practice this evening. Healing and forgiveness come in layers, right? It's deep. It's more than just a one-time thing. And when our animal companions cross to the other side, there may be buried things that we haven't taken out into the light to look at. There may be some things that we don't even want to admit to ourselves. There may be things that are just buried deep enough that they keep us from achieving that level of peace and feeling that sense of relief that we want to get. And so we're going to do a Ho'oponopono exercise tonight, and I'm going to talk about the practice of it, but in a different way. I want to take a little bit different perspective about it. And some of you, and I don't see Pat on here this evening, but he has suggested that it's one of those things that has really helped him with his healing. And I think and it doesn't, here's the really cool thing. It doesn't just have to be used for this. Ho'oponopono is a wonderful practice for anything, including bad dreams. Yep, you can ask for forgiveness for your bad dreams, or you can forgive your bad dreams for even showing up for you. Those bad dreams do not have to be there. We just did this thing on dream work last night. And one of the things that people talk about with dreams is, are they predictive? Are they prophecies of what's going to happen in the future? Are they an indication that something is wrong? Are they an indication that you did something wrong? Are they a warning? Is there danger ahead? Dreams don't have to be any of that unless you choose them to be. Your dreams are yours. They are created within your mind, within your heart, within your soul. And if your dream is not one that you would have actively chosen, sometimes our brains, right, they do this. With dreams, our minds have a way of taking all this information. Thank you for cleaning my ears. Yeah, thank you, Cosmo. Our dreams have a way of bubbling up when there's stress in our lives, when we have been overdoing it, when we might have been dwelling on something that isn't necessarily dense. That's the word I like to use. I don't like to use the words positive and negative. Dense and light. When we've been focused on something dense, you guys all know that these past several months for me, and for many of you that I've connected with here, have been months of change and significant change on all levels, coming at us from all sides. And sometimes our bodies internalize that stress and we don't know how to release it. And I, for one, have always been one who actively exercised. I love to be active. I love to be outdoors. I love to be doing and moving and physically caring for my body. With all of the things that have been going on for the past several months, I found that challenging. I found it difficult to do. And then I have a little injury from overuse. It's an overuse injury. And that also tells me that I have been go, go, go. And our bodies hold on to that. And our brains figure out the way to release it then. So if we don't do something like meditation or yoga or physical exercise or whatever your particular passion may be, singing, dancing, art, whatever it might be, our brains then take that and they find a way to release that stress. So I call them stress dreams. Really, all they are is our body finding a way to release the stored stress. So just go with that. If you have a bad dream, you have a bad dream, and just let it float away. Thank it for showing you. Thank it for showing up for you, and then just let it float away. And the other thing you can do is a Ho'oponopono practice. You can forgive your dream for upsetting you. You can forgive your dream for raising up some questions or thoughts or doubts or feelings that you thought you had gotten past. So when I talk about the Ho'oponopono, I say it like I say it every day. Ho'oponopono is the word that I'm saying. You can practice it for anything at all. All right, let's go back to where I jumped a little bit ahead talking about Ho'oponopono. And I did my little intro. And so I want to thank you guys for being patient with me last week. Last week was one of the weeks that I missed. The whole family, yes, for the entire week of Christmas, we came down with a stomach bug. From the youngest among us, who's only one, to me, who is the oldest in the family, all of us. We had a big purge. That's the only way I can phrase it. It was horrible. It was a norovirus. We clearly picked it up from somewhere and we spread it to each other, and we were all very, very ill. So we spent Christmas doing nothing. We did nothing, and it was marvelous. And for that, I'm grateful. We sat on the couch and watched Christmas movies, all of us in our PJs, no food. We were all clearly a little worse for the wear, but that's what happened last week. So I do thank you guys for bearing with me, and also for all of the wonderful thoughts that you guys sent. I got a lot. Now Cosmo wants to play. I got a lot of emails, and I'm so far behind. I will try to get to them all very soon, all the emails. And a couple of you have found me on social media, so I got a lot of messages too. I appreciate them. I love them. I thank you so much for all your support. We talked about 1 full year. I just can't believe it. 1 full year, you guys. Who has been with me? put a little thumbs up or put a little hello in that. Coco, hello, it's good to see you. Yes, I'm definitely feeling better, 100% better. But let me know who's been here since the very beginning. I want to say Sharon and Sherry. And now see, I get caught up in reading. Hello, Fatima, good to see you. Don't have the will or the strength, and now I have lots of nightmares. Okay, perfect example. Maybe that's a message to you to return to what you know that you love. Return to what you know to do. Do those things. Return to that, and watch how it changes. I know that we think we don't have the energy or the will or the drive to do that anymore, but to return to that and then to feel it return like a warm hug when you realize that, oh, I've missed this. I have missed this so much. So let's see, reflect on the year. That's what I would really like to do also. A year of these live streams, unbelievable. A year of teaching classes. So you guys know that I teach all kinds of things from psychic development to helping animals prepare for end of life, to animal Reiki and animal communication. And I've had all of these wonderful classes throughout the year. It's been absolutely amazing. And the passing of Nana, as many of you know, who used to always be in the comments there, the passing of Nana and the move. So out of my beloved Colorado to a new place to follow my granddaughter, because where my granddaughter goes, I go. And we'll share more and more stories about her because she is absolutely magic. She's got a connection with animals. She was born with it, this connection with animals that even her parents recognize. My son and daughter-in-law see it in her. So I'm really, really interested to share more stories with her as she grows older. But so much big change, and a lot of it within the past 3 months, that going into 2025, it feels good to relax this last week of 2024, these last couple weeks of 2024, to just relax, be calm, be present. That's the other thing I recognized. There are so many moments in our lives where we're so caught up in the doing that we are not present for the actual moment. I was watching an interview, and it was just an interview of somebody who was meeting a person that, like, meeting someone that they had longed to meet their entire life. And she said, I just want to remember this. I want to cherish this moment and be present. And that's what I would like to do with you guys tonight. I just want to be present with you tonight and cherish this moment, looking back in hindsight at all of the weekly things that we've talked about and all of the connections we've made. It feels good just to be here with you tonight and just to be present with you. Okay, so let's talk about making peace. I want to talk about making peace and what that really means. Yes, Cosmo, you're a good boy. He's going to make me scratch him the whole time here. He's so spoiled. He's so spoiled. Yes. Okay. This was one of the unintended consequences, by the way, of starting my work with animals, which didn't begin till I was well into my 50s. I was on the downhill side of 55 when I started doing all this. And one of the unintended consequences is that I've made some really good animal companion friends, some really good friends along the way. All right, I'm going to take a look at the comments real quick. Leslie, it's good to see you. Caroline, awesome to see you as well. Anna, hello, hello. I'm going to take a look at the comments. Then we're going to talk about making peace, and I'm going to explain Ho'oponopono, and I'm going to take a little bit different perspective on it. And then together we are going to do a little Ho'oponopono activity. So hello, Leslie. I was the weird cat lady. Oh, Leslie, I'm so glad. Right, that's it. There are so many of I say my students, but it's more than that. It's just so much more than that, who have gone on to create beautiful, wonderful lives. I think part of the reason that we are often so stressed is we are not doing the thing that we are meant to do. It's sometimes hard to identify what our purpose is, or more importantly, if we do identify our purpose, to come up with the courage to let go of the familiar and find a way to do the thing that lights us up. And as you guys know, and this has something to do with Ho'oponopono as well, I was the corporate control freak. I was all type A corporate personality. I was corporate for 35 years. And I felt like I was had those, we call them golden handcuffs. And golden handcuffs mean that you have achieved a certain level within corporate America that you can't possibly leave. Because you're receiving a good enough salary, you're receiving bonuses, you're receiving perks, you're receiving all the little benefits that go with having that kind of position, but you can't possibly leave because now you have a lifestyle that is used to getting those kinds of things. And how do you walk away from that? So that is, sorry, dog hair is now everywhere. That is part of what I teach. It takes, it took all my courage. And at some point, it was about 6 months in 2018 that I went, oh my God, what have I done? But then to realize that the animals, they opened the door. Once you say yes, it doesn't have to be animals, but once you say yes to you, I'm just going to share this little piece of advice. The universe, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever your higher version of a higher power is, the safety net seems to be there. It's like you step onto the high wire and the safety net is there. Okay, that's enough about that. We can always talk about that another time. Let me see the dream. In my dream, I was walking on a New York City sidewalk. Animals were escaping out of a shelter quite happily. A black and white fox, very cool. A fluffy, creamy cat, a bird, and more. Yes, that would be my idea of an amazing dream, a brilliant dream. Would be that I would free all of the animals in the zoo if I could. If I knew that there was a way that they wouldn't die, I would do that, because I think animals in captivity. Honey, what did you do to yourself here? I see a little bare patch of fur. Animals in captivity, whether it's in a shelter, I know with the best of intentions, and I plan to go work with, now in my new home in Wisconsin, there's a wildlife rescue that I want to go work with. And there are some wildlife, when they are rescued, that can never be returned to the wild. And those are the situations that I find the most challenging. That if you were to ask an animal companion, would they rather be in a cage or would they rather transition to the other side? I don't know that we would like the answer that we receive from them. And I don't think it has to do with being in a cage. But anywho, yes, that would be my favorite dream, is to see that all captive animals are released and free and living their best lives, and every human being also. And I think I think we're capable of it. I think we're capable of getting there. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Kaz. Okay. Elaine, a question from Fatima. Someone told me this week that sometimes when our beloved pets come back to visit us, they may find it hard to go back to the other side because we're too energetically attached. Well, Fatima, I'll try to explain this in the simplest way that I possibly can. And I mean, you have to take my word for it until you're ready to experience it for yourself. There's no such thing as the other side. We call it the other side. We call it across the veil because we don't have any words for what that is. But the energetic space, the space that we think is full of nothing, is full of everything. When we look out into the sky, so you're standing outside and you look up into the night sky and you think that there's all this empty space between you and the stars. That space is filled with all of the energy that ever was and ever will be. And our animal companions and our human companions and every other companion that you might imagine, if you think that you've got a guardian angel, all of those spiritual beings, they all reside in that energetic space. And what I try to teach, and this comes with Ho'oponopono as well, is when we can let go of all of this humanness and all of the physical material world and connect with that energetic space, that's when our animals show up for us. And they don't have to go back anywhere. They can stay with us forever. And they're willing to be right next to us forever and ever and ever. And we're not holding them back. We're not keeping them from anything. It's not as if we're keeping them captive here in the physical world, because they are part of that beautiful energy. And here's one more thing. That energetic space, the fabric of it is love. LOVE, capital letters all the way around. I'm not talking romantic love. I'm not even talking the love of a puppy or a baby. It is the deepest, most profound level of love. And that is the fabric that ties everything together. So don't worry about that, is what I would say, Fatima. Don't worry. Your animal companion has access. There's no way you can keep them trapped here. and they want to be with you forever and ever and ever, and they're happy to be by your side until you are ready to go into that energetic space. Okay. I know, Cosmo, he's a ham. He's a total ham. Yes, he is. He's my good boy. And he knows this. He knows this is our last like week long together. I'll probably see him again, but not like this. No. Okay. Thank you. Good. Making peace and Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono, I'm going to talk about a couple different things. It's a Hawaiian practice. So without the notes, let me just tell you what I know about this practice of Ho'oponopono. I was introduced to it through watching a YouTube video when I was looking for my own personal spiritual development. It didn't have anything to do with my animal companions crossing. They were still with me at the time. This was like 2017. Lucy, Jack, and Winston were all still with me. I don't know if Winston had joined me just yet. They were still with me, and I was looking for my own spiritual growth. And part of what holds us back from achieving our own level of spiritual growth is that we've got some things to forgive. There's a part of us that little dark mask, we talked about it last week, that there's a dark side of us that we that nobody sees, right? I think Billy Joel wrote a song about that nobody sees. And we need to work with that, and we need to acknowledge it. And Ho'oponopono is one of those ways to do that. And if there is anybody for whom you are holding a grudge, and we're not just talking about our animal companion loss right now, for anything or anybody, any situation, any person, even yourself or your animal companion or God, that you're holding responsible or blaming or holding a grudge or keeping yourself blame, guilt, remorse, regret, all of those things. Ho'oponopono is the way to help yourself forgive. It's very difficult to stand in front. First of all, it's very difficult to bring up those memories. I can think one that I shared most recently. And it's funny that this came up like 3 or 4 times this week. So that's why I also knew I had to talk about it. I had a memory from when I was a young girl. I was about 8 or 9. I did something, and look, it still makes me cry just a little bit. And this is between me and God, but I did something that really hurt my mom's feelings. And when that happened, I held onto it. I held onto it my whole adult life. And it wasn't until I started practicing this, doing Ho'oponopono late, and this was mid-50s, that I was able to let go of that memory, not just let go of that memory, but heal that memory and heal the little girl, heal like my younger self who was experiencing that memory every time I brought it up. And I kept it buried way down deep. And it wasn't even that big of a deal, but to the little girl, it was a big deal. And it was enough for me to hold on to. So all of us probably have got those things, and some of them may be more serious than others. There may be some things that we hold ourselves responsible for. There may be things that we hold adult relatives or clergy or family members or friends or there just others in our life. There may be things that we are holding people responsible for. There may be somebody who, I'll go back to animals. There may be somebody who was afraid of dogs because they were bitten as a child and it was something severe, or they witnessed something, or you can go back and forgive all of that, but it does require pulling it out of the trunk, pulling it out of the chest, opening the drawer where you've got it hidden, and taking it out and taking a look at that and feeling the feelings and feeling the emotions. And then you forgive them. And I'll talk about how we do that. But so this is the Hawaiian practice. It's called Ho'oponopono. That's the word. H-O, like Hawaii, but it's H-O. That's part of the traditional Polynesian language. And then after it comes that little apostrophe. And that is actually pronounced in Hawaiian. It's the sound. So Ho'oponopono. That little, I can't think of the name, what they call it, but you pronounce it with a little hitch in between the words. And then the word pono means to make, right with nature is what the literal translation is, right with nature. So ho means to make, pono means right with nature. And in the Hawaiian language, when you use the word twice, pono, it means to make it like more right than you could possibly ever make it before. So it's like to make, there's no literal translation for how right you are making something with nature. So the way something was intended to be in all of its perfection, you are making it right. So you say Ho'oponopono. Hang on, I got to quiet my phone here. Do, do, do. Not that. There we go. All right, so nobody can call me. So I would say ho'oponopono, and it is so the Hawaiian practice of forgiveness, and the way that they practiced it, it began with war. Not just war. It began when there were people from one village who might be having a disagreement with others, or family members who were having a disagreement, and you went into a like a little room, and you sat and you practiced ho'oponopono until the two people who were fighting agreed that they had made peace, that they had found peace with each other. And it's not just forgiveness; it is also forgive and forget. I call it ultimate forgiveness, unconditional forgiveness. Unconditional forgiveness. Many of you have heard the term forgive and forgive, but not forget. I will forgive, but I will not forget. Then you have not forgiven in the Hawaiian tradition. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness means complete and total forgiveness. And when you can do that for yourself, it's wonderfully freeing. That there's no sensation like the feeling of that burden lifted off you. It's like lifting 10 lead vests off of your body and having them just being floating right away. It helps you feel so wonderful to do that. When we first learned about the tradition of ho'oponopono, it was brought to the West, and there, as I mentioned, there's no literal translation. So the person who, and I can't think of her name, Hulen. No, that was a guy. I can put it in the notes. But they interpreted it. They said, in order to get as close as we possibly could, it took 5 phrases. I'm sorry. No, 4 phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. In no particular order. This is what one word in the Hawaiian language means. Ho'oponopono means I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So in the Hawaiian language, there's actually no word for I'm sorry. So that really does not translate. There's no apologizing because it implies that somebody did something wrong. And it's not necessary that you've done something wrong. It's just something that is, I don't know. We don't have the words. We just don't have the words. So we go with, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You're asking for forgiveness. Thank you. Gratitude for everything. Gratitude for the experience. Gratitude for the feelings. Gratitude for the pain. Gratitude for the forgiveness. Gratitude for the lightness. Gratitude for everything. So thank you. And then I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. That alone, Cosmo's trying to drink from my glass. So I love you. That phrase alone. Oh, Cosmo, please stop, honey. Hang tight. I'm going to move this where he can't get it. Vamos, buddy. Come on. Watch out. Okay, so I follow a guy named Michael Sandler. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Michael Sandler, and he used to do his live streams with a rooster. So I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good just with a doggy here. But can you imagine even doing it with a rooster? Okay, and Ocean Lee, Happy New Year. Good to see you. And life lessons in love. Awesome. Okay. He knows water when he sees it. Yeah. Right out of the glass. He's drinking out of my glass. Okay. So ho'oponopono. Thank you, Cosmo. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. But it doesn't have to be the words. The words are not what is important. It is the intention and the feeling that you put behind it. And I think that the hardest person to forgive is ourselves, to stand in front of a mirror and look yourself in the eye, not eyes closed, to stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, bring up that situation, whatever it might be. And I'm going to talk about a couple of the things that come up with our animal companions. Bring up the situation. Acknowledge the feelings. We're not going to bury them. We're not going to hide them. We're not going to say that I shouldn't feel sad. I shouldn't feel angry. I shouldn't be mad. I shouldn't be holding my veterinarian responsible. I know I shouldn't do the. We're gonna acknowledge them. It's legitimate. Those feelings are real, and we have feelings for a reason. So we are going to acknowledge, address them, look at them, let them be, let them flow, if tears have to flow, if we need to shout or scream, it doesn't matter. All of that is fine. We're going to acknowledge them, and then we're going to forgive them. And to do that while looking at yourself in the mirror is liberating, possibly one of the most liberating things I've ever done. And it doesn't always happen the first time. Like the first time or two, I felt stupid. I mean, that's just honest. I felt stupid. I was practicing with, I was telling you who I followed. His name was Aaron Doty, Doughty, Aaron Doty. And it was right at the very beginning of his spiritual journey. So he had just started doing live streams on YouTube. And similar to this, I started following him, and it was that practice. And he said, go stand in front of the mirror and do this practice for yourself. And it was not easy. But then when you begin to feel that release and you realize that you can forgive anything, any situation, it doesn't matter what it is, a dream, then you do it. You just do it. And you can say the word is easy to remember. It rolls off my tongue now. Ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono. You don't even need to say the English translation. The Hawaiian word carries the vibration. It carries the healing right within that phrase. And then, or you can say those phrases. If you were to talk to somebody from Hawaii who was a native, indigenous to Hawaii, they would probably say, you don't need to say all that. Just say ho'oponopono with all the feeling. All right. So why do we do this? We acknowledge that there's a whole spectrum of emotions that we go through when our animal companions cross to the other side. And there are all different reasons. I was looking at somebody reached out to me this week, and I don't see you on here tonight. But if you catch the replay, to say that they were so wrapped up in their own life that they weren't present. As I mentioned, they weren't present for their animal companion. And not only were they not present for their animal companion, but they missed the signs. They missed the signs that there was something wrong. They missed that there was something serious wrong. And it was too late by the time that it was brought to their attention. And had they been present, they could have avoided it. And this person is holding themselves deeply responsible for the crossing of their animal companion. Now, because I've been doing this now for several years, and I have worked with many different animal companions and many different people. I have had people who have accidentally harmed their animal. Now, I know that none of us would never do. I say, and when I share these examples, they are not meant to hurt your heart. Please know they are not meant to hurt your heart. These are just, our animal companions are all on their own journey, and the manner in which they cross does not carry over with them. Just remember that. They have no recollection of the way in which they crossed. They just know that it was their time, and on their trajectory, on their little journey, that was what had to happen. But so different things happen. Medical mistakes happen. Veterinary mistakes happen. Sometimes we feel that we didn't make the right decision. We assist our animal companions with crossing, and we feel like we've been talked into euthanasia. Or we don't. It's just the opposite. We realize that our animal companion has now been suffering for weeks, and we should have taken steps much sooner. There are accidents that happen. There are family members who do things by mistake. There are other animals who harm animals. There's all kinds of reasons why our animal companions cross. And the first thing we look for, it's human. It's perfectly human. This is said without judgment. We look for someone to blame. We want someone held responsible for the pain that we're feeling. We want somebody held responsible for the loss that we are experiencing. And it's one of those, every single situation can be forgiven. Every single situation can be forgiven. And I know that some of you have already been through this. Some of you have been through this beautiful practice and come out on the other side. And sometimes it takes more than ho'oponopono. I've had people I've had people write letters, vehement, expressing their anger and and everything they needed to say, put it in writing, and then burn the letter. There's all different ways that we can get there, but ho'oponopono I find to be one of the most effective and one of the most beautiful. All right, I'm going to check comments real quick. You're moving to Hawaii? Oh. You had me. You had me that you were moving to Hawaii. That's my story too, that I wasn't present. Okay, so Anna, I did also have somebody who fell asleep, someone whose kitty cat crossed, and she was wanting to be present for her animal companion and fell asleep when she woke up, kitty cat had crossed. And we came together, we came to the realization that the kitty cat wanted to spare her that moment. And you guys know, I've been through this with Winston. I was 100% convinced that Winston and I had a soul to soul agreement, that he would sit in my arms and I would be with him by his side the moment that he crossed, that I'd be there holding him, helping him, letting him go with ease and peace and grace. And didn't that little stinker go without me? Waited for 2 hours while I was at work. And during that time crossed. So, but it does make me think back about the part of not being present. Jack and Lucy, I've talked to you guys about this before. Jack and Lucy, my black and yellow labs. Jack the yellow lab, Lucy the black lab, Lucy the mama, Jack only 1 year younger than her, but he was her puppy. For 10, no, maybe 7 or 8 years of their lives, it was during my corporate life. And I would get up in the morning, I would let them outside. They got on leashes. I mean, they had extended leashes, but they were hooked. They would go outside. They would go about their business. I would make their breakfast. I would give them kisses and love and hugs and all that good stuff. But then I'd be gone for the entire day. And when I came home, they got their dinner and we would sit and watch TV together and we'd all lay on the sofa. And if there were kids' sports, if there were business meetings, if there was travel, I was not ever fully present for the first 8 years of their lives. That needed to be forgiven. But you know what? It taught me how to be present now for Gypsy, how to be present now for Cosmo, how to be present for everything. And even when I'm not, it taught me how to find my center again. It taught me how to get back there quicker and how to recognize it now. And Gypsy, she will not ever have that. So it made me a better pet parent. It made me a better animal companion. It made me a better human companion for my animals. Because now I know that Gypsy, I will not ever tie her to a lead. She gets to go on her walks. She gets to have little treats. Her and I talk to each other. She gets to have her Reiki sessions. It's just a whole different thing. And I'm so grateful to Jack and Lucy for teaching me how to be a better companion to animals. So even when we're not present and they cross, you know that I know, Anna, I know that you would do everything differently. And one day when an animal companion comes back into your life, you know, Gypsy was not planned. When an animal companion comes back into your life, you will be such a better human companion for them. All right. So there's all different reasons why we use Ho'oponopono. And it can be to forgive anything. It can be to forgive a situation. It can be to forgive a person. It can be to forgive yourself. But when our animal companions cross, we may experience all kinds of emotions, including anger, guilt. These are just a couple of them that I wrote down. Anger, guilt, resentment, and disbelief, like especially if it's unexpected, if it happens out of the clear blue. Now, I knew that Jack, Lucy, and Winston, they were all seniors. They were all between the age of 11 and 13. But when it's unexpected, that sense of disbelief, that's the only word I have for it, is disbelief. So our emotions are natural. They are, they spring from the depth of the love that we felt. So for the depth of love that we felt, that's where those emotions come from. We felt so strongly. And we all know that this love for animals their love is so unconditional. And so they know everything, right? Aaron, I don't see Aaron here tonight. That they know our secrets, right? They know everything. They know our bad breath. They know our habits. They know when to leave the room. They know what to show us. Gypsy will do it. If I drop the F-bomb, Gypsy's gone. And I just am so grateful for that. I'm so grateful because in a prior life, I might have let myself spiral into whatever usually it's about technology. I might have let myself spiral But Gypsy reminds me that there's no need. Like, don't take it so seriously, chick. I swear that's what she's telling me. Don't take it so seriously. It's not that important. So, so what we want to do with Ho'oponopono, it's like the path to making peace. And making peace doesn't mean that you have to forget them. It doesn't mean that you have to, that the emotions won't ever bubble up again, because you can always come back to this time and time again. It just means literally that, making peace with it, being okay with where you are at this moment in time. And it releases the burden of unresolved feelings. Unresolved feelings, all those things that we don't know what to do with. It helps us release those. It helps us get rid of those. So I want to frame forgiveness, yes, buddy, as a gift to yourself. So at this time of year, as a gift to yourself, allow yourself to begin to forgive. Now, somebody may say to me, I don't want to forgive. I don't want to forgive. I'm not there yet. That's okay. That's okay. When you're ready, it'll be there for you. When you're ready, it will show up for you. I understand. If you, you would say, I'm not ready to forgive. I am not ready to let go of the fact that my veterinarian did X, Y, or Z. I am not ready to let go of the fact that I told my husband 100 times not to leave the car window open, whatever. I don't know where that came from. But I get it. I understand. I judge not. And when you're ready, then this will be here for you. Okay, so let's continue on. I have pages and pages of notes, as usual. I have both my automatic writing notes, and I try to transcribe some of them into a way that I can now keep things in order as we're talking. 1 year since Lady Bell transitioned, and then Mew Mew. It does not feel that long at all. No, for me, I feel like Jack and Lucy and Winston. I don't know. I always feel like they're with me anyhow. But it feels like just yesterday, even though gosh, I can't believe for Jack was the last one to go, and that was December 1st, 2021. So over 3 years now since Jack has passed. So the time has a whole different frame of reference for us when our animal companions cross. Ho'oponopono. So this practice, it addresses feelings of guilt. It addresses feelings of blame, resentment, very common emotions. And I want to share with you a couple of steps. So I'm going to take you through a Ho'oponopono practice, and you can it's my gift to you tonight. You don't have to do anything. If you wanted to go grab a little, if you've got a little trinket or a little something that you remember your animal companion with, if you've got their little collar, or you've got a little clay paw print or a little bit of their fur, you don't have to have any of that. This is going to be my gift to you, but you can just hang on to it, hold on to it as I go through a little Ho'oponopono meditation for you on your behalf. My little gift to you tonight. But if you're going to do this for yourself, the first thing you do is find a quiet space. Just find a place where you can sit down quietly, because you're going to dedicate this time to yourself and your animal companion and the ability to forgive. So you find a quiet space, get yourself comfy. And I always say start by focusing on your breath, because when you breathe in, I love this feeling that when I breathe in, the same air that I'm breathing in is the same air that Cosmo's breathing in, is the same air that a deer outside in the field is breathing in, is the same air that the little raccoon who knocks over the trash cans is breathing in. I love to visualize that. And it's the same energetic field where your animal companion resides. So when you breathe in and you focus on that breath, you're breathing them inside you. You're breathing them into your heart and into your body and into your soul. So you focus on your breath, you create a quiet space, focus on your breath, and then bring up the event. Think about it. It's okay. Let it bubble up. Whatever the situation was, whether it's for yourself or for another, or just the situation in general, or for your animal companion. You guys know I was pretty angry at Winston. I was screaming. It was not a pretty house in my sight in my house that day. I was so hurt that he chose to cross without me. That I really need to Ho'oponopono that. So bring it up and let all of those things bubble over. Let it all, whether it's yourself, an animal, God, it doesn't matter. Without judgment, let all those emotions just rise right to the top, because that's where they need to be. If you're gonna be able to send them off, you've got to be able to see them. They can't be buried deep. And then you just repeat the 4 phrases. And I'm going to add a little bit to it when I do the guided version for you. but it's I'm sorry. So by saying I'm sorry, you're just acknowledging. You're acknowledging the pain. You're acknowledging your role in the situation, and whatever the situation might be, it's just acknowledging. Because I think even if we're holding somebody else responsible, ultimately the person that we're the most angry with is ourselves for not making a different decision, or being in a different place, or being present. Or so ultimately it comes down to acknowledging the pain and our role in the situation. Please forgive me. Please forgive me is asking forgiveness for mistakes, for perceived failures, unresolved feelings, things left undone. That's what we're asking for forgiveness for. And thank you is expressing gratitude for everything. Express gratitude for the lessons. Express gratitude for the life you got to live with them. Express gratitude for their love. Express everything. Just be gratitude is almost as powerful as love. Gratitude, I would call that a close second for when it comes to the power of resolving things. And then I love you. End with love. Offer it to yourself. Offer it to the person who you are very angry at. Offer it to your animal companion. Offer it to the universe. Offer it to just love, 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 love. Love will help you. It will help you release those things. Okay. So here's an example of something that you might say. I'm sorry for the pain I've carried. Please forgive me for not knowing what I know now. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the life you live with me. I love you and will carry you in my heart forever. It's that simple. That's all you need to do. Now, I love to infuse it with the words ho'oponopono, but you could say those simple sentences. I'm sorry for the pain I've carried. Please forgive me for not knowing what I know now. Thank you for the love and lessons and life you shared with me. I love you and will forever carry you in my heart. And you can repeat it as often as you need to. And you can repeat it as often as you need to at the time that you're doing it. So if you've set aside time on a Saturday morning, you're going to sit quietly in your room and maybe you light a candle, or you don't. You sit down in a quiet space and there's no interruptions. You've got your cell phone in a different room. You have all the sound turned off for your other electronic devices. And you sit down and you just say those words, and you say them with feeling, and you say them with the expectation or with the anticipation that you're going to feel relief. And the first time you do it, it may feel like it's not working, or it may feel phony, or you may think that you're doing it wrong, or you think, oh, I just said it out of order. There's no such thing as saying it out of order. Those four phrases, they all flow together. That's why I like to infuse the word ho'oponopono in with it. You're not going to get it wrong, and you can repeat the process as often as you need to. So let's say that on Wednesday, holiday here in the US, is it a holiday everywhere? January 1st? I think so. You're sitting down and you take a few moments and you're doing this and you feel the relief, but come Sunday, you're feeling all mixed up again. Then you just do it again. And you do it and you do, and each time it gets easier and easier and easier. And then the next thing you know, you're sharing it with somebody else. You meet somebody, you've got a family member whose animal companion is crossed and they're in a really dark place, and you can share ho'oponopono with them. There are books out there about it. Who else did I like besides Aaron Doty? He was the one who most practically explained it. Then there was there's a more well-known guy. His name's, I think, Joe Vitale. He's a little more commercial, if you want to put it that way. But anywho, there are plenty of ho'oponopono videos available on YouTube. If you would like to just listen to someone doing that for you, they will do that. There's videos out there to do it. So you can't get it wrong. You can do it as often as you need it. And then just afterwards, just take note of how you feel. Even if it's just a little bit, if you feel just a smidge of relief, I would take note of that and then continue the practice. So why does it work? It works because self-compassion, one of my new favorite words, self-compassion. In the Reiki world, we have these precepts. Oh, excuse me, I got to shift position. We have 5 precepts in the Reiki world, and one of them, that we repeat to ourselves. The last one is to be compassionate to myself and all living things. And it was originally just to be kind be kind to all living things, but it starts here. You can't be kind, you can't be compassionate to others until you've first been compassionate to yourself. So self-compassion. Forgive yourself for what you did or didn't do. Releasing blame. Blame is one of those things. Blame doesn't get us anywhere. Blame, it just doesn't fix anything. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't resolve anything. It's just one of those denser emotions that leaves us feeling crummy. And so we can release that blame. And restoring connection. If there is no other benefit than this, it helps you restore your connection with your animal companion's energy. So all those signs that you've been longing for, all the things you want to see, all the sensations, you want to feel them in your heart, you want to hear the click of their nails, you want to hear Jack drinking from the toilet, you want to, whatever it is, you want to feel them jump on the bed with you at night, those signs start to show up. And all the signs start to show up. You start to get cardinals on your windowsill. You see their vision in the clouds. You get reminders of their name. Like all of you guys who tell me every time you hear the name Lucy, you have no idea how happy that makes me. Every day, somebody sends me a message that says, I just heard Lucy's name. I just heard Lucy's name. It's so beautiful. And those are the kinds of signs that you can get. It just reaffirms your connection with your animal companion when you can let go of blame, anger, resentment, revenge, punishment, self-punishment. When you can let go of that, and I've been there. I promise you, I understand exactly. I understand guilt. Having been raised a devout Catholic, I get the guilt thing. How to let go of that guilt. And the self-flagellation, the self-punishment, the things that we would inflict on ourselves for holding ourselves in guilt and holding ourselves in blame. Let's all that go. All right, let me check. I'm going to check the comments real quick, and then I'm going to, I wrote this out so that I would have it here for you guys. I really wanted to say this in a very specific way. And okay, here we go. So if you guys want to get ready, wherever you happen to be, if you're in a place where you can sit down and just close your eyes and listen to my voice, that's all you need to do. If you have a little memento or a little trinket from your animal companion, go ahead and grab onto that. But first, I'm going to take a quick peek at the comments. Piper's unexpected medical issues without SoulPets. You guys, I try not to sound like too humble, but it's the animals. Like they're the ones who did this. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I do know what I'm doing, but I mean, to just start doing live streams and to be sitting on the floor, with a dirty camera and a doggy drinking out of my water glass. It's all the animals. They're the ones who are opening these doors for us. They are the ones who are helping us heal. It's all them. I know it's all them. First Christmas Eve, massive shoes to fill. Heart, right? When your heart is ready, it'll be ready. I told Gypsy was not planned. Gypsy was not planned, and I did not want to say yes, but in the end, I'm so happy that I did. I just want everyone to know there's a beautiful book that helped me called Angel Whiskers. Oh, a book of cat poems. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Thank you guys for sharing that. I love to share that kind of stuff. Okay. So we're going to keep on going. And a drop-in soul. We can talk about drop-in souls at a future time. I love the whole idea of drop-in souls. We'll talk about that again. We haven't talked about that in a while. Those drop-in souls, because our pets, who I say on the other side, our pets in the non-physical, there you go, our animal companions in the non-physical, they have access to all kinds of magic. They can come into our lives in more ways than we can possibly imagine. Okay, here we go. So if you're in a place where you can, Cosmo thinks, here we go, means we're going outside. Let's do our little Ho'oponopono practice for now. So I'm going to guide you through these 4 phases of Ho'oponopono. You can, if you'd like to just listen, that's what I invite you to do. My gift to you is just to go to some place where you can sit down and relax, and in your heart, hold your animal companion. Call them to mind, whether there's 1, 4, 10, whether that was from your childhood animal companion up to the most recent animal companion. Just hold them in your heart. and let them be with you. Let them kind of wrap you in a spiritual, energetic hug as I read these words for you. I start by taking a nice deep breath, visualizing, breathing in that beautiful energetic field where all animals exist. As I breathe in this air that I share with all the wildlife, with all the animals, with every species, with every living thing, I breathe in this beautiful air. Ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. I acknowledge any pain. I acknowledge any anger. I acknowledge any of those denser feelings that I am holding right now. I feel them. I allow myself to feel them. I acknowledge whatever role I may have played. I acknowledge that I didn't know what I didn't know. And I choose to let go of the blame right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I even blame. I let that go. Ho'oponopono. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for the things I did, for the things I didn't do, for the things that were missed. Please forgive me for simply being human. Please forgive me. And visualize if there is another person, another animal, a situation that you are holding. Imagine they are asking forgiveness. Please forgive me. Ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for love. Thank you for moments shared. Thank you for lessons. Thank you for life. Thank you for being my partner, even in pain. I express gratitude for the healing. I express gratitude for the shift. I express gratitude for the relief. I express gratitude for feeling you by me, near me, with me. Ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I offer love to myself. I offer love to you. I offer love to every living thing. I offer love to every situation, for every hurt, for every pain. I offer love. I open my heart and I allow that love to flow. I allow it to flow from every pore of my body, from every cell of my being. I allow that love to flow. It surrounds me and it flows out into the universe, and it resolves everything. It helps to heal everything, everyone, every situation. Oh, I love every beloved memory with my animal companion. Love is the center of all healing. Love is my connection to you and to all things. Ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono, ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Nice deep breath. And I just want you to say those words with me in your own mind right now. Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Ho'oponopono. And now take a nice deep breath in. Feel your heart begin to open. Feel the emotions lifting, even if just a little bit. Nice deep breath again. And my closing words for you guys this evening, besides may animals light your way, is that I love you. Know that this group is here for you. Know that all of us support each other. That when we say I love you, all of us are saying that to you, to every single one of you watching this video right now, every single one of you watching it in the future, even if it's 10 years from now. know that somebody out here in this beautiful energetic field loves you. You are loved. And may animals light your way. Good night, everyone. Love you so much. Take care.